Good man, Colm. Welcome along. You know Colm Boohig's here anyway. It is Off the Ball Breakfast. It is Friday morning. It is the 12th of September 2025. And we've loads to come between now and around 9:30 on the show this morning. We're going to discuss all the morning's headlines very shortly. We're going to have Jonathan Wilson at around 8:05am this morning as well to talk a few bits and bobs. Ange Postecoglou to Forest, England as well. And the small matter of the Manchester Derby this weekend coming. 8:30 or so, Alan Quinlan and Susanna Mullen going to join us ahead of the big one this Sunday at the Women's Rugby World Cup. It's the quarter-final between Ireland and France in Exeter. We'll have Barry Murphy then in studio from 9am as well to talk all of the League of Ireland and FAI Cup action this weekend, and also put a bookend finally on a horrendous week for the Republic of Ireland, which of course culminated in that defeat in Armenia. Colm Boohig, you've already heard him. Good morning.
Hiya, Shane. How are you?
Keeping well. Dara Smith-Naughton, good morning. How are you?
Well, how's it going?
We're keeping well, lads. Feeling happy, fresh.
Great to be reunited.
It's a couple of weeks off. We haven't seen each other a couple of
was
weeks.
outside an establishment.
An establishment in Dublin.
Yeah.
With a pint of stout in each of our hands.
And
you waved off into the distance.
Yeah, I did.
You just stole the glass.
I did. I remember that.
Just walked off with the glass.
There with the
I
glass.
remember that. Yeah. With the mother of your child.
Yes, correct. She
Yes,
was there as well. Yeah.
Lovely jacket.
Yes, which you wore.
I recall that a few days
There's
later.
all the stories coming out from the
I
establishment.
recall that.
Yeah.
But what we know all that. These are facts established already. What we don't know is Shane Hannon's opinion about what he just saw this week.
Oh, wow.
The Republic of Ireland. So I heard Shane on radio when I was still off last Sunday, minding my own business, travelling around, and you were on with our dear colleague Adrian Barry, and it was sandwiched in between the games. So this is the day after the 2-2 salvation against Hungary.
Ah, yes.
And you were starting to preview the Armenia match. Never in your wildest dreams, I'd say.
Do you know what?
But you did call midfield at the time.
I just have.
You called it.
Josh Cullen.
In fairness to you.
I don't know. There's something about watching Josh Cullen in an Ireland jersey that does nothing for me. Jess and I as well.
What about Josh Cullen in a Burnley shirt?
Well, obviously he's better. Like, he's experienced. He's a leader in that Burnley team.
Yeah.
But I don't know what it is about some of these players when it comes to international level. Stewie Byrne made a point that I thought was very pertinent during the week, where he was talking about the and this is real old school, but I still think it matters. The whole smiles and laughs from Nathan Collins in the tunnel, and then they all smiles and laughs when the two captains are standing there, and then Hamer Hallgrimsson as well with 10 minutes left having the jokes with the Armenian player along the sideline when Ireland are clearly chasing a result. Not that you want them to be all Roy Keane and ignore them, but there was something about the Ireland team, and there has been something about this Ireland team that is missing that edge. And Stewie hit the nail on the head, I think. And I just have that feeling watching Ireland. I feel like they just don't get up for these games. They were up for the Hungary game in the second half because they needed something, and they were down to 10 men hungry. But Tuesday night, from the get-go, was brutal.
Plenty of people have had their say. Don't know. Did you hear Keith Tracy yesterday?
Yeah.
Well, we clipped one bit of it anyway, and that was just a kind of neat summation of I'd say a lengthy diatribe about Keith, who was Keith, friend of the show, regular here with us, would be generally speaking default setting, happy-go-lucky, very positive type of guy, and eviscerated what he saw. And it's funny because Keith Tracy, for people who remember him as a player, was crafty and beautiful and full of guile and skill. But it's the opposite of what he wants in a manager, and he wants fear to be struck into these players in no uncertain terms. No more Mr. Nice manager, whoever that may be. Then Roy Keane has his say on his podcast this week, and the last 10 minutes of that show is dedicated to Roy Keane talking about the Republic of Ireland. And once again, I think not for the first time in his life, he says the FAI couldn't organise a piss up in a brewery. And before I heard the clip, I thought it was a summation of what he said, but he actually said that. And he and was it every other Tom, Dick and Harry, which you said twice, was in for the Ireland job. But even saying that and criticising the FAI so openly, I don't even think necessarily rules them out for potentially managing Ireland in the future either. It's like the FAI just have to accept the fact that potential candidates are going to openly criticise the organisation to that extent and that directly, and they'd still have to be under consideration.
Yeah.
What a position we find ourselves in.
It's ridiculous, isn't it?
Well, he probably criticised the FAI before they had conversations with him.
Before, during and after, I'd imagine.
Yeah, no doubt. They're at such a low ebb, and yet after the Hungary game, you're thinking, right, Jesus, came out of there with a draw, probably could have gone on to win the game, but you go into the Armenia game and you're expecting maybe, sneak a win, 2-1, 2-0, anything would do over there, because it's a tricky game anyway in Armenia, I understand that. But when you look back at it in hindsight, you think, we should be winning in Armenia, but also Armenia are looking at us going, we should be beating this Irish team. They're no great
Yeah,
shakes.
yeah. Like off the ball breakfast hungry must have been embarrassed on Monday morning.
Yeah.
You know what happened there. But you'd be a similar disposition to Keith. But are you of the opinion of what seems to be I think the only overriding sentiment that people wanted to hear this week is tough love. Would you go along with that, or is there another way to skin this cat?
It has to be tough love. They seem to have tried everything else.
Now, okay, that's fair enough, right? I thought you might say it, but we did tough love, didn't we? Like the last decade, we had it with Martin O'Neill and Roy Keane. We had it with Trapattoni to an extent. Different group of players, same psyche, same culture.
But now we're probably going to finish. We could well finish bottom of our World Cup qualifying group.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think it's easy to forget how bad it got at the end of all those previous 10 years as well. I don't think Hamer Hargrimson is on his own here.
No.
He might be the worst of the worst, maybe, but sure, that's very narrow between them all.
Yeah.
But who in fact has been the worst here?
It seems like it's a done deal that this will be like his last. I know his contract is up anyway after this World Cup campaign, but this will be his last campaign. That result has signed his death warrant, to use the Michael Collins phrase. Like that he has taken one here and he's accepted. I think you could see the look on his face when he was chatting afterwards to Stephen Doyle and to Tony as well on TV. Just the look of resignation in his face. He was like, well, that's it. Like,
because he went balls out and said we're going to be at the World Cup next year in the build up to it. And it's funny, this time last week there was a huge sense of optimism.
And once again, after the second game in the group, it's all over.
It's a funny one, isn't it? Because then we were like, is that toxic positivity beforehand that everyone was like, oh, it's going to be great. And then afterwards, people really wanted to have their say. Like, I mean, nothing gets people going like the Irish football team, as it turns out, people say we live in rugby country depending on the time of the year and with GAA season, and we get stuck into that big time, but it does feel like it's the Irish soccer team that really gets people going the most.
And there's
overall
that positivity. Like I'd say there's Irish people planning their summers for next year, which is mad because we haven't been at the World Cup in since 2002.
Do you think so? I don't know if any. I think it was all just hope and desperation.
People were holding out for sure. Though. People were holding out hope.
But I don't know. I think the Hungary game was too big for the players, and that there was so much pressure on them because it was constantly referred to as a sprint. This group, because it's all taking place in such a short space of time. I don't think they could handle it.
No,
It's
excuses. It's constant excuses. Like you're hearing, like you look at the pitch in Armenia the other night, and it's not great. But I looked at the Ireland team that started against Armenia before the game, and I'm thinking that team is definitely good enough to beat Armenia. On paper, it is.
Yeah, that's what I was saying yesterday. I was like, were people critical of the starting 11 before kickoff?
Like, obviously there was injuries. Sammy Smolik was out injured and wasn't great against Hungary anyway. Like, Matt Doherty was left out. Like, if all the ifs and buts in the team, I thought were addressed. I liked the team on paper. It's far from the greatest Irish team we've ever seen, and it's still missing so much quality. But there's players playing there regular Premier League with Josh Cullen and Queeveen and Nathan Collins, and obviously Evan Ferguson started the season really well with Roma. On paper, Finn Azaz has just got a £15 million move. On paper, this is a pretty decent, not above decent, but decent Irish team, enough to beat Armenia, home and away. But
it's a funny one because, in this perverse world, hypothetical, that we got say 4 or 6 points from these two games, and it was the same collection of players taken to the field. Now we'd be talking exactly like you're describing them, like. Azaz just got a big move in the championship, which is pound for pound one of the best leagues in the world overall when you consider the competitiveness of it and some of the quality. And then you go to like Ferguson, we've a good European base striker there, and Ogbene, like loads of pace. And so you start describing all these individuals as they're quite good in their own right. No, this is looking quite good. Then these results happen. Then you look at the exact same set of players and you pick them off individually, being not good enough, not good enough, not good enough.
I think people have still identified that midfield. And even, I know our own Matthew Brennan was saying, I know everyone talks about the midfield, but that defence is not firing at all. And it hasn't been for
Keith
years.
said the same yesterday. It's true. But
Ferguson's I think a shining light, but...
it was just something else. You're just sitting watching it, lads, and you're like, I've seen this show again. I've seen this show before. It's deja vu watching this Irish team, and I don't know. You go into the next, what is it? Is it Portugal away, Armenia home in October? That's the next window.
October 11.
Like that Portugal game, in presumably wherever it is, Lisbon, but like that could be
one of the worst nights.
It could be.
So
I know, but it's
bad.
always
It could be
those
so
games then where
bad,
you
though.
predict the hammering that they come up and they play all right. Like, do you remember
Yeah.
they play Portugal and Faro, wasn't it, in August 2021, September?
Kenny's tenure, yeah.
It was a 2-1.
Yeah.
Should have won the game,
Yeah.
really. Yeah.
And then there was 0-0 back in Dublin. And are you telling me that was a much better squad than what we
No.
have now?
No, but I suppose
Portugal are slightly better. That's the problem.
they're definitely better.
But that was Stephen Kenny, you know. That was Stephen
It
Kenny's
feels
time.
different, though.
Yeah.
It feels different because we just got embarrassed.
Yeah, but
So
exactly.
everything feels bad now. Like, you know, we could be at home to San Marino and we'd be, I don't know, maybe play back five here.
Yeah.
All the confidence is shot. Like,
Portugal go to Armenia and win 5-0. We go to Armenia and lose 2-1. Now we have to go to Portugal. It's scary. Like, it's a scary proposition.
yeah, but they've there's no pressure really in Ireland against Portugal away, right? You know, they have to get something from it, but everyone's like, there's not a hope in hell you're getting anything from this. So then the players are like, oh, no one's kind of watching properly now. Meanwhile, Portugal are 2 from 2, so
Yeah.
they might be like, we don't even really need to win this game, and then they can meet somewhere as a compromise.
Portugal's home
And
games,
then
I
it would
think.
just be a handy, narrow defeat.
If you had
and
to
they'd be
predict
like,
the
that
scoreline,
was a good performance. Where was that performance against Hungary and
I know.
Armenia? And that would be a bad
hindsight's
time.
2020. If you could both predict the scoreline of the Portugal game right now, what would you say? Like right this second.
I'll go 3-1 Portugal.
I'm sure I feel better about it the week of, but I'm saying like 5-0. I don't even see us scoring against them.
Yeah,
Where's the goal coming from?
I know that's the thing. They might get a goal from a corner.
Or else
I was going to say
might sneak
5-1.
Might
But-
sneak one, but
Yeah, I don't hold out any.
Yeah, I
optimism.
don't know. Yeah, I like. Look, we'll see. It's obviously
Closer it gets, obviously, that-
obviously very possible, but like I don't know. It doesn't always go like that. The results always don't continue south all the time.
Yeah.
Just because we got beaten by an average side doesn't mean we're going to get hammered by a good side.
what happens if it does go like that?
Nothing, really. Nothing. Like, if we
think,
get
like-
hammered by Portugal, it's like, yeah, of course we got hammered by Portugal. That's what I mean. This might help the players in some perverse way. It doesn't actually fix any of the problems that we're supposed to be talking about here. Do you know what I mean?
If they get hammered by Portugal and say draw with Armenia, do you bring in a manager
For the last 2
straight
games
away to get 2 more?
I don't know.
extra
Like,
games?
they're 40 million in debt, whatever that actually means in real terms, in terms of when they have to pay that back. And sure, what's another few million after that? Like, you know, who cares? Because like Cargill's contract's nearly up anyway. Yeah, maybe, like, you know, just because the circumstances aren't right to do it right then and there. If it's the wrong person in the job, you probably should get rid of them.
Yeah, do it quick.
Right there. So what's the point? Like, if your big argument to retain someone is, actually there's no point changing it now. That's probably not enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some people are telling us, right, lads, back to Premier League. I mean, at least that would depress us a little bit less. Manchester Derby.
No, I figured that. You know, I haven't even looked, but I figured it because people would be like, wanted to talk about it yesterday still.
Oh, there's still some people commenting on the
they
Ireland
would
game.
say, oh, should move on with it now, move on, because they know what's out there say. Like, well, I'm angry.
Yeah.
I've done it now. We can move on to something else. I for one enjoy the misery.
Yeah.
I enjoy talking about where Irish football is going.
Yeah, I don't. It's something else. Premier League this weekend, lads. Manchester Derby, obviously, on Sunday.
Sorry,
commentary off the
just
ball.
One last thing, sorry,
ahead,
on that. Did you get the impression when you were growing up playing football in Monaghan that it was seen as a bit of a DOS away from your studies and that you should be doing something better with your time in the school system?
In the school system,
Yeah.
yeah, I would say so. Yeah. It was a lot of Gaelic football, in fairness.
Yeah,
ahead of
soccer is not really massive in those
Yeah,
certain
not
schools,
massive.
really.
No, it was kind of the forgotten child.
You know, we had double P and that was it. You one class, long class of P every week.
It's mad, isn't it?
And someone actually WhatsApped in and said, well, what would my suggestion be in terms of how much did you have P? I'd be like, every day.
100%.
Every day you should have P.
Yeah.
It's a massive part of
You look at schools now
massive
even.
part of development. I'm not
Yeah.
talking about becoming a professional athlete. I'm talking about your overall development. It's huge for you.
And kids are starting school, by the way, and you talk about motor skills.
Yeah.
I've spoken to teachers like my age who are in schools, and you're like, you would not believe the amount of kids that can't jump properly, that can't, like, have no motor skills. Doing like what's that one called? The jumping jacks.
Yeah.
That sort of thing. They just have no, because they're obviously sitting on the devices. They have no outside time, less outside time than we would have had potentially, and they cannot do the basics, like the things we would have taken for granted in school, like jumping and throwing and that sort of thing. It's like
when I go back to Cork, I look up the hill in this green area that we used to play football on all the time. All the time that we be up there playing as kids, and I look up there every time I'm home now. It's not much, but still I look up there. There's no one up there.
Yeah,
There's no one playing.
it's mad, isn't it?
And I'm just talking about unofficial games. There's loads of official matches happening around the gaff, but I'm on about just like jumpers for goalposts with your buddies.
Yeah.
Well, that's where you become a really good player, when you're playing with your buddies constantly.
It's a collector's item now when you see kids. I see sometimes kids in my state playing, football with the cones down, and there's 3 of them playing World Cup or whatever, and you're like, and it brings a smile to your face because it's so rare. Whereas back in the day, not that we're over the hill.
We grew up in the sweet spot of technology.
Yeah,
where it was only escapism, but it wasn't central.
No. Play for half an hour.
It was video games, and there was no social media, so you weren't getting caught up, and there was no conversations on devices, but it was like a video game. Like Donkey Kong. Play a bit of Donkey Kong. Go out and play Nods and Valleys.
Yeah.
What a life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm fairly convinced I grew up, my childhood was at the best time ever to be a kid.
Come in sweating for your dinner.
Transition from technology.
Yeah. It was great. You just come in stinking of grass.
But summer, you just go out. It was like a 12-hour shift of football. You go out in the morning, you come back at night. It was unbelievable.
Yeah.
And look, that's a bigger societal discussion. But anyway, I was saying yesterday, we just don't take it that seriously.
Yeah.
We love it, we don't take it seriously. And on that note, you'll say to me, the Manchester Derby. And we won't solve anything.
And obviously the FA Cup and the League of Ireland this weekend. We're going to talk about all that with Barry Murphy on the show today as well. After 9, but Manchester Derby, I was watching back the 09 game last night, the 4-3 at Old Trafford when Michael Owen scored the late winner.
So many moments in that game.
It was mad.
It's not just the Michael Owen. Gareth Barry's finish.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
And Foster's mistake for that one. A couple of Foster mistakes in that game.
Craig Bellamy had a worldie of a game. So you had 2 very different, equally beautiful goals.
First goal was scandalous.
That was like 30 yards out into the top corner. And then Rio Ferdinand makes a mistake.
Yeah.
And that was a weird... I haven't seen this game now in years, but that's a weird one where Bellamy bears down on goal with the ball from the left wing into the penalty box, and he just kind of keeps running and
drags it
Ben
around.
Foster kind of falls.
Foster and nearly made it easy for him.
And it's like an Astro goal at the end. He kind of taps it into an empty net. Yeah.
Most of the highlight packages are 20 minutes long.
You can skip through them there.
Darren Fletcher scored a header.
Who?
Darren Fletcher scored a header.
2 headers.
Yeah.
Fletcher played brilliantly in that game. The first header was kind of deflected, but the second header was brilliant.
This is at the very start of the 09-10 season.
Yeah. And United took the lead, I think, 4 times. Yeah, so City kept equalising.
Barry gave City the lead, didn't he?
He did.
Yeah.
No, sorry, Rooney gave United the lead, and then Barry equalised.
Yeah, he does.
And then Fletcher 2-1, Fletcher 3-2. The 2 Bellamy goals. Outstanding. Shea Given was in goals. A couple of unbelievable saves from Shea Given. Like Shea Given was excellent in that game and conceded 4 times, and Foster was useless, conceded 3 times.
And then Sparky on the sideline, Mark Hughes.
Yeah, raging at full time. Yeah,
it was like this to the
United got the last free kick just before the own goal, and it's like way over, and it's like Mark Hughes is.
He does Mick McCarthy Roy Keane handshake with his old bass. Doesn't look.
It was tense. The great days of Manchester Derby.
Did Tevez play that game for City?
Tevez did, and got a terrible reception. Walks off at half-time holding Patrice Evra like his good friend, just to I think try and get a better reaction.
Everyone's son.
Yeah, or Party Song. Yeah, great relationship. Mad game. But when I think of Manchester derbies, that's the kind of era maybe I think about. Some people probably go back even further.
Yeah, well, this one's at the Etihad this weekend on Sunday. We've live commentary that, do we?
We sure do. Nathan and Brian Kerr over there at the Etihad.
Oh, yeah, very good. But yeah, the Etihad derbies. It's an interesting mix that United. They've won 3 of the last 8 derbies, United, but they've been in different competitions.
FA Cup,
Community Shield. But they won last season at the Etihad in the Premier League. Do you remember this? Amad Diallo scored in injury time.
Oh yeah.
Course,
last December, mid-December. Josko Vardiol had given City a first half lead. Bruno Fernandes equalised in the 88th minute, and in injury time, Amad got the winner.
A brilliant winner.
It was a great goal.
Afterwards, I remember Ruben Amorim, it was only about a month or so into the job, wasn't too praiseworthy of his side. It was still quite critical. If he could have that time back now, he'd be like, I better celebrate those very limited victories I had in my first season.
We're about to lose to Grimsby next season,
It's like when they beat Everton 4-0, he was the same. I wasn't happy with that performance. They ended up having to say it after every game. So that was last season. And then they had that spell under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer where a couple of times they went to the Etihad and got a smash and grab, and Fred would for some reason play unbelievably well, and we'd be able to nullify City's threat.
Yeah.
2018, 2-0 down at half time against City.
Pogba Day.
United, Paul Pogba and Alexis Sanchez. And United won 3-2, under Jose Mourinho, which delayed City winning the title.
Was that Van Persie's free at the end? No, was that
no,
a
Van Persie
different
was
one?
long gone, yeah.
Long gone. Sorry, that was early, yeah. That was the day where Smalling scored.
Van Persie's free kick. There was another. Paul Scholes scored a header. Yeah. So, it's been. But then Vincent Kompany, didn't he get the winner against United at the Etihad, and that basically, or that went a long way in helping them win the league in 2012. Now, to 2025's iteration of these sides, it's poor against poorer, isn't it?
At the moment, yeah.
Right now, but City are a superior side, obviously.
Yeah, Rodri's obviously back
they've
in.
lost the last two.
And have looked really, really poor in areas of the pitch where you expect them to be dominant.
Who's going to go first? Pep Guardiola or Ruben Amorim?
I mean, results you'd expect.
It sounds obvious that it would be Amorim.
Yeah, but it might not be.
I don't know how much more Pep will... Now, I've had a feeling for about the last half decade that Pep's going to leave.
Yeah.
That he's going to eventually get sick of this. But I guess his life is perfect for him at City, professionally anyway, that everything's set up for him. So why would he go and where would he go?
Yeah.
I've always imagined that Pep will eventually return to Barcelona.
Yeah, at some stage. I think he'll do it, Klopp, and take a bit of time after City.
Well, he did his hiatus in New York between the Barcelona and Bayern jobs.
Do something like that again.
And I don't know if you saw him at the US Open final there. He was at the Alcaraz Sinner match. So he loves a bit of New York.
Yeah, loves a bit of tennis.
That's where he goes. So yeah, he has other interests. I get the impression last couple of years that it's kind of done now. Would he build another great side? No, they signed a lot of players in the summer, and let's not forget their first day of the season they went to Molineux. Wolves were, I'd say, nice contenders now for relegation. They're 0 from 3, I think.
Yeah.
They beat them 4-0, and one of their new signings, Shani Reinders, had a blinder.
Yeah.
Okay, look, Pep's done it again. Then the next two games, Spurs and Brighton. Not great.
No.
But then you look at the other rabble, and then the cliche about Derby's form goes out the window.
I think if they won the league last year, I think he would have went. They had such a poor season.
Wants to go on a high.
Yeah, I think so. Someone like him has to.
Yeah. It's interesting.
He left Barca in a bad year.
So he has priors.
2012. That's the Fernando Torres goal. Do you remember that? That was Gary Neville's first orgasm. Do you remember that? That's. Do you remember that?
I did not think that. I didn't have it on my bingo card this morning.
He goes around them. Who's in goals?
Victor Valdez, I'd say.
Valdez, yeah.
Yeah. And and then Torres puts it in.
It's a work in progress, isn't it?
Yeah. He was, yeah.
It's gotten better.
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable. And that was unbelievably one of Pep's last games in charge.
Wow, yeah.
And he left it. Wasn't a positive. I think the opposite. I think if Pep wins, he'll stay.
Do you think so?
Yeah, I think winning motivates the guy. Yeah. So I don't know. Amorim, who knows when the guy could go. The thing about Amorim's situation at United is if he could go at any moment and there'd be no shock.
Yeah.
At any moment, really.
As in, is there a bit of Damien Duff about him that he could just bounce?
He could get sacked as well.
Yeah. He's obviously going to wait.
I would have been interested to see what would have happened if they had lost to Burnley in that game after Grimsby.
Or drawn.
So they won 3-2.
Yeah.
And it was a penalty deep into stoppage time.
Fernandes, yeah.
And
celebration as well.
So, and that would have been interesting to see what would have happened.
Yeah. International break's a good time to get rid of a manager, they say.
Yeah.
Someone said, Dermot says, is this the biggest game of the weekend, the Manchester Derby? Pats v Galway is the biggest game, says Little Mouse, 75. Drogs Bows, says Tyrrell. But in fairness, yeah, it's a fair point. Like the Manchester Derby, albeit it's historically significant. You look at the other fixtures in the Premier League this weekend, and probably one or two, maybe others jump out, like the Mohamed Kudus Derby, West Ham Spurs, 5:30.
That's what it's known as, yeah.
The Jack Grealish Derby, Everton Aston Villa.
He's started really well at Everton, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Grealish. He's got the mojo back a bit.
Yeah, and Dewsbury Hall, excellent.
Yeah, Everton suddenly look all right. Thing about Spurs, right? They got that last weekend of the window, which went kind of under the radar, but they signed two brilliant forwards.
Yeah,
Xavi Simons and Colm Boohig. Suddenly, then Spurs tasty enough, and they started well. I know they lost Bournemouth last day out.
Yeah, and they were very poor that day.
But to beat City before that,
Colm Boohig's an interesting one. Like, obviously fell out of favour at PSG.
But he was alright at Juve.
Yeah, he was.
I think he scored like 8 and 13 goals in Serie A last season.
Yeah.
And Xavi Simons was wanted by a few clubs for a while. If they adapt to the Premier League, hell of a sign. Now, Colm Boohig, I think, is a loan with no option to buy. But still, he could do that. He could do a Klinsmann on it and do
Wasn't Colm Boohig could have had the World Cup winning goal?
Yeah.
True on goal.
That was Martinez saved it. Yeah.
What a moment.
Yeah.
What a moment.
Was he with Borussia Mönchengladbach at the time?
Yeah.
Got his move.
Sliding doors moment.
I think he was at PSG already.
Was it Marcus Thuram? I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Spurs look tasty.
Yeah. That's one big rivalry. You wanted to mention a couple of other rivalries as well, but we're going to get to Conor Murray's book extracts as well in a second.
I was asking in the office there this morning, was like, who's your biggest county rivals? I was like, Waterford, right? Hate Kilkenny. The passion.
And they're different provinces, but they're bordering.
But they see each other, you know.
With
the naked eye. But Kilkenny are a bit apathetic towards.
But your Cork, so your one is interesting, and like, it depends if you're a big ball or small ball, I suppose.
It depends, you know. If you're a big football head, Kerry. For hurling, Tip.
Who do you personally hate the most? Hate's a strong word, I know, but let's say hate in a sporting sense.
I never enjoy watching Kilkenny win.
You hate watching Kilkenny win,
but it's more
very diplomatic.
Cody legacy, flawless team, impenetrable.
Yeah. PTSD when you see the black and amber.
Shivers up the spine with the black and amber.
Yeah. I can see that.
A very close second to be Tip.
Right.
Yeah.
Not Limerick, no.
Not really with Limerick so much. But there'd be no love lost in general over there. Like Cork have a lot of problems with a lot of people.
Just generally speaking.
Yeah, you could name them all. I mean, like, probably not so much Clare or Waterford, put it that way, in Munster.
If you had to beat someone in like, if Cork are going to end this barren run, who would you most like to beat in the final is probably the question.
That's a good question now. There's one of 3. Which is a lot of the hurling population. Kilkenny would be joyous, but Kilkenny are less of a factor in the last few years in terms of winning the All-Ireland. You, of course, want retribution against Tip. But I have all the time in the world for Tip's performance in the final.
Yeah.
I thought they were magnificent.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't really hold it against them. And Cork have beaten Limerick a few times.
This year would have been perfect. Beat Limerick in Munster and then beat Tip in the All-Ireland.
So they're more fallible now, Limerick. What would I prefer? I don't know. I think Tip fans kind of were fairly gracious in victory. I'll go Limerick.
Okay. I can see that.
Yeah.
As a Cavan man, Dara, greatest rivals team you love to hate, county you love to hate?
I think you know my answer.
You're looking over this direction.
Winnicon.
Winnicon.
Yeah.
What is it about what is the tension between two of you about?
Cavan are the like, as you know, in the peak Ferguson era, like Cavan are the noisy neighbours. You know,
why?
Haven't
that
been,
just makes no sense.
Hadn't been relevant in such a long period of time.
Is that right? Yeah.
Well, in fairness, like Monaghan, you know, when Monaghan won a Division 2, let's use 05 as the barometer.
Monaghan were relevant for 3 years.
I don't know about that. Quarter-final against Kerry in 07, lost by point. Should have beaten them that day. But you know, and then went on to win Ulster in you're losing Ulster final in what, 7, 10.
Yeah.
Win Ulster in 13, lose the final in 14, win in 15.
And
a couple more finals since.
Yeah.
Cavan, I know, won Ulster obviously in 2020.
Most recently, yeah.
In fairness.
Final year, the year before as well.
Yeah, it was COVID year, there was no fans there when Cavan won.
Yeah, you weren't there. I didn't see you there anyway.
No.
Beat Jews on the way as well.
You did actually, yeah.
More. This is getting Chatty Nicholas territory now.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, you can say about Cavan. No, but I think we'd both be.
But you have a bit of chemistry there, Monaghan and Cavan.
It's like a friend.
It's not hate. It's not hate.
It's a friendly enough rivalry.
Love to beat them, but like
you said, it's like it's the brother relationship. Earlier.
Annoying brother relationship.
So who do you hate as Monaghan?
Monaghan probably hate Tyrone. And not off pitch. I think Monaghan and Tyrone players actually get along very well off pitch. It's on pitch. There's been a lot of incidents over the years where, you know, obviously Sean Kavanagh pulling down McManus, Chin McCann getting Darren Hughes sent off by rubbing his, you know, Darren rubbed his hair and he went down like a sack of spuds. There have been moments, and obviously Malachy O'Rourke now, such a history with Monaghan. Now he's in charge of Tyrone. It's hurtful. Like, there's just things that have cropped up.
Would you hold it against your beloved Malachy?
I wouldn't hold it against Malachy. No, certainly. He lives in Tyrone. It makes absolute sense for him. Do you know? And it's a team that could certainly win in All Ireland the next 3 or 4 years. So I can see what he's doing. But it hurts. It just hurts.
So Tyrone for Monaghan. And what about Cavan?
It's similar. Armagh. I don't like Tyrone, but Armagh, like, for me personally, it's Armagh because 2014 we played them in the championship, and before the game, you line out for your anthem walk. They don't really do that anymore for those type of games, but you used to line up at the side and walk.
Oh, is this that game?
You know what I'm talking about?
I know that game.
We lined up on the side closest to the fans.
Yeah.
It was in Armagh, in the athletic grounds, and they weren't having it. They were like, shift over, lads. We're supposed to be on this side. And so we didn't. We, stood our ground, and a brawl ensued.
That was a
pre-match
brawl,
and it was like violent. Like it was, and I just remember I was a big fan of Martin Dunn, who he coached me in Cavan Gaels. He was like our star forward for those couple of years when Johnny Johnson left, and one of the Armagh lads broke his arm in the brawl, put him out for a year.
Yeah,
I remember being a kid, just being like, those lads up there, like.
And it was over beside the fans, wasn't it? So everyone was getting
so
proper
visible,
riled up.
Yeah,
it's one of those GA brawls.
So violent in Ulster.
It's awful.
There's always something. But then Tyrone Armagh has been always so violent as well.
Yeah,
like it's.
You can pick. There's a few you can pick from, like. But I have so much time for Down. I really like Down.
Cool people.
Yeah. Sound people.
Oh, they are. Like,
I know a few downers, and they're uppers actually.
Yeah.
yeah.
They're actually uppers. I love Derry people, I have to say.
Derry as well.
Yeah.
I like Derry people.
Fermanagh, a bit irrelevant.
I know a handful of people from Fermanagh. But lovely county.
Lovely county.
Went there.
I like Enniskillen.
I still have to go to yours.
You've never been to Monaghan, which I think is scandalous.
I don't think I have yet, but I have to go to the A-rated. So
you do, yeah. You do, yeah. You have to. In fairness, we're gonna. I want to come back to a couple of these because I think Jonathan Wilson is standing by and ready. So we'll maybe come back to Conor Murray a little bit later on. We'll come back to Ger Brennan's conversation with Tommy Rooney as well last night, which was excellent.
And I just want to put it out there as well because, like, I know Jonathan would have his own answer. Is Jonathan listening to this?
I think so.
Yeah, that who are Sunderland's great rivals, right? But Dublin, who do Dublin hate?
Oh,
because they get hate. But the problem with Dublin is why the hate would increase towards Dublin is that Dublin don't care about anyone else.
It's just us against the world. Or
so who do Dublin hate?
So the Dublin fans of a certain vintage would say Meath, isn't it? Like
I wouldn't Meath, but they're a bit of, well, maybe from last year.
Beat them last year.
Maybe from this year, yeah. Last.
It's Kerry, it's Kerry, but like they don't really care. We'll ask Jonathan Wilson very shortly with the rivalry thing.